Right, so I think everyone that we're waiting for is already here. Let me welcome everyone to the transition ceremony of the online course on inquiry in the science classroom. I am Celia Balbin and I am the facilitator for the course, and it is my pleasure to really welcome you all to today's program. Alright, so let me welcome all our participants and their school heads who are joining us. And we also welcome Glenn, who is joining us right now from the US. Let's just have a quick check. What time is it now in Manama, Bahrain? And what time is it in Utah, Glenn? Right now, it's 18 minutes past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, September 18 here in the Philippines. Right, it's 1:18 a.m. in Utah, so we're about 14 minutes ahead of you, and 10:20 in the morning in Bahrain. That's beautiful. So we're crossing and we have overcome the differences in time and also in geography. I'd like to welcome again everyone to today's transition ceremonies. And I am happy that we are here joined by our director here at the University of the Philippines, National Institute for Science and Mathematics Education Development, Dr. Soledad Ulep. And we are also joined by other staff, Science Education Associates and Science Education Specialists here at UP NISMED. We are also happy once again to welcome the school heads of our participants. Alright, so just to give you an overview of our activity this afternoon, we will have the formal program. And then this will be followed immediately by the presentations that have been prepared by our participants. And we will have the awarding of the certificates of completion immediately after a short break after the presentations. Alright, so again, welcome to the transition ceremony of the online course on inquiry in the science classroom. And you are all joining us from the Engage Adobe Connect webinar platform of Intel Education. To lead our invocation this afternoon is Mr. John Alex Reyroso of UP NISMED's Information Science Group. John?
Manahimik muna tayo sumandali at bigyan ng presensya ang ating Panginoon sa ating mga puso. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa biyayang ipinagkaloob niyo sa amin sa pagtatapos ng aming matagumpay na online course. Maraming salamat po sa bagong kaalaman at mga aral na ibinigay ng aming facilitator na matyagang nagbibigay karunungan sa aming kaisipan. Maraming salamat din sa iyo, Panginoon, sa pagbibigay mo sa amin ng bagong kaibigan at kasamahan. Hindi man kami nakikita physically, pero dahil sa course na ito, nagkalapit-lapit naman kami sa isa't isa. Sa pagtatapos ng online course na ito, patuloy niyo pa rin kaming gabayan sa aming pagtuturo sa aming mga estudyante habang ina-apply na namin ang bagong kaalaman at estratehiya na natutunan namin dito sa course na to. Ginagawa namin ito hindi para lamang sa aming mga sarili, kundi para sa paglilingkod na rin sa aming bayan upang mapataas ang kalidad ng pagtuturo ng agham sa aming mga klase at paaralan. Naway kalugdan mo ang lahat ng aming gagawin at plano at naway masunod namin ang iyong mga kautusan. Mapagtanto sana namin na ang lahat ng aming pagkilos at plano ay dapat gawin ayon sa iyong kaluwalhatian. Bigyan mo nawa kami ng kalakasan ng katawan, tamang pag-iisip, at mabuting puso upang may sakatuparan namin ng maayos ang lahat ng ito nang walang ibang natatapakan. Ang lahat ng ito ay tinataas namin sa iyo, Panginoon, sa pamamagitan ng iyong anak na si Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. And now let us go to the program proper. I'd like to say that today is really a special day because our course also is very special. First, the content of the online course, Scientific Inquiry, directly matches UP NISMED's advocacy and mission of teaching science through inquiry. Second, insofar as NISMED is concerned, this is officially the first course delivered online in its entirety in the recent years. Third, the conduct results from teachers' need for professional development in the various aspects of the K-12 curriculum as expressed in our online community, the Kasama Teachers online community. Fourth, the teachers who made personal decisions and paid to join also turned out to be the most open-minded, driven, and collaborative participants. Again, I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of UP NISMED and our director to today's ceremonies. All right. As you are seeing on your screens, we have our main presentation or share area at the middle, and there is also our main chat pod at the lower left of your screens. So please feel free to use the chat pod to comment, also to ask questions if you want. And then you can also use the status button at the top of your screens. You see a guy there with a raised hand. You can click on the down arrowhead and choose any button that you think best represents what you want to say. You can agree. You can also request us to slow down a bit or to speak louder. All right? So feel free to interact with our resource persons, our participants, as the program proceeds today. All right? So what I am also going to present in a short while is a brief overview of the content and the facilitation strategy that we have adopted in the course. The overview will serve as a good backgrounder for the presentations that will be made by the participants in a while. In the online inquiry in the science classroom, participants engaged in individual and group activities. The individual activities included the self-paced e-learning and action planning tasks, while the group activities included participation in online discussions and also live webinars. The course made use of the e-learning content from Intel Education, the group discussions, and the resource sharing. Resource sharing took place in Intel Engage, while the facilitator-led webinars were conducted using Intel Education's Adobe Connect webinar platform, the same platform that we're using for the transition ceremony this afternoon. What is nice is that all these technology resources and tools were provided free of charge by Intel Corporation. Now let us take a look at the main topics included in the course. Just to give you an idea, the goal of the Inquiry in the Science Classroom course is to help teachers transition from textbook science, where students mostly engage in cookbook types of activities, to those that provide them authentic scientific inquiry experiences. This course enabled our 9 participants to explore ways to develop students' thinking skills and inquiry practices. So let me share with you the main topics at each module. Module 1 introduced scientific inquiry and emphasized its benefits. The misconceptions often associated with scientific inquiry were also discussed in the module. The inquiry continuum is first presented in the first module. Our participants examined recent inquiry-based investigations in their own classrooms and identified where each falls on the continuum. Many of them learned that using the continuum as a guide, they were able to build more inquiry into students' activities. Module 2 begins with a discussion on the foundations of scientific knowledge and the important role that habits of mind play in furthering that knowledge. Participants thought about the specific habits of mind and inquiry-based abilities that they want their students to learn first in order to become successful in scientific inquiry. The module presented the scientific inquiry phases as a practical tool for planning and managing scientific inquiry projects. Teachers reviewed the curriculum standards in the grade level they teach and identified topics that may benefit from integrating the scientific inquiry phases. Here again, the participants brainstormed activities, lessons, or projects in which they could incorporate the scientific inquiry phases. In Module 3, participants actually applied what they learned in the first 2 modules to design open scientific inquiry projects for students. In Lesson 1, they reviewed the K-12 science standards to identify scientific inquiry and concept standards that they can use for planning. Then, in Lesson 2, they learned about the varied types of scientific inquiry and then designed a scientific inquiry project using the scientific inquiry phases model. And then, in Lesson 3, they planned the formative and summative assessments that they will use to assess students' scientific inquiry practices and understanding of science concepts. In Module 4, teachers explored practical strategies to make scientific inquiry happen in their classrooms, with a special focus on making their classrooms an example of a community of learners. They learned how to manage inquiry activities and teach students the skills they need to successfully engage in scientific inquiry. Participants also explored various options for incorporating scientific discourse through speaking and writing tasks. They examined strategies for teaching scientific inquiry and practices and habits of mind. In Module 5, teachers learned how technology supports and enhances inquiry practices in all 4 phases. Participants explored technology tools that scientists currently use and considered how they may be integrated into their own science classrooms. In particular, they tried out online tools that support exploration, investigation, interpretation, and presentation. They were also introduced to technologies that foster collaboration and communication as students engage in scientific inquiry. So I hope that this quick overview of the different modules included in the course will give us a backgrounder to appreciate the presentations that our participants have prepared for us this afternoon. All right, so what do you think of the course? Are you interested? Those of you who have not taken up the course yet, do you think this is a good course to cover for our science teachers? All right, so, well, it's time to hear what our participants have to say about their experience in the online course on inquiry in the science classroom. Yes, Glenn, this Intel Elements course on inquiry in the science classroom is really an excellent course, well thought out, with lots of resources for teachers, with lots of strategies that represent best practices in the different classrooms. And I think one of the proof of that is that this course is used not only in the US, but also in other countries. And in many of these countries, the course has been translated into their local languages and aligned to their curriculum standards and also the goals of their science education. All right, so let me now continue. I think our participants are excited to share with you what they have learned from the course. Let me now introduce to you our presenters. We will have about 5 presentations this afternoon. We start off with Mavic Sapanta's My Journey, and we will next listen to the insights that will be shared by Janet Cledera, and then we will join Femi Adarayan as he sets his classroom full speed ahead, and also Joe Buaron and Abby Laranio as they move their students forward to scientific inquiry. And let's take a hint from the example that Ivy Simbala's class has done as she incorporated learnings from the course into her classrooms. All right, so let me just, for now, we all take a deep breath as I change to their presentations. Take it away.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me, ma'am? Is my audio clear? Hello? Okay.
Yes, I hear you.
What I'm going to share is actually my journey in this particular course. Well, I consider this both as a professional and a personal journey. And just like when we travel, we can reach our... Yes? Hello?
Your audio is...
Okay, just like when we travel, we can reach our destination properly if we pass through the correct direction. If one has to apply inquiry in the class, the task won't be easy if I did not go through these modules and lessons in the course. There are lessons that I really find striking. So on the...
I can hear you.
Yes? Ma'am?
Mavis, go ahead.
Okay, during the first module, the most important thing that I have learned is to actually revisit my lesson plan. I realized that most of the inquiry approach that we provide are under-limited and structured. So I tried to provide and move forward to a more student-directed inquiry, because this is what inquiry is about when students own their learning. In the phases of inquiry, I learned that inquiry has 4 important phases and would help develop science process skills, which may either use habits of mind or it could also develop habits of mind. Thus, it is better to design scientific inquiry showing each specific phase, taking into consideration the habits of mind, science process skills, and the content standard, which are supposed to be reflected to have an effective objective. As I apply the scientific inquiry in the classroom, it's also important that we provide supportive environment to students. And this could be, this will be possible if there is a continuous feedbacking, feedback from teacher to student, student to student, and student to teachers. From this course, I realized that ambiguity in the classroom is acceptable, that I should feel comfortable when at the beginning we are not yet clear with the result, because that is real science. It's about discovering, and that's actually what is happening in real life. So results are not always immediate. So that is a very good realization also for me. And lastly, for our 5th module, since this is a 21st century classroom and our students are digital natives, there are a lot of appropriate tools or excellent tools for exploration, investigation, interpretation, and presentation that we could use, and Intel is able to provide rich sources for us, and on our end, we also share those that we are already using, both online and offline. So that's all. That's actually my beautiful journey in this particular course, and I'm so thankful both to Ma'am Celia and to all my classmates and to Glenn for learning with us. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mavic. I think she needs, she deserves an applause. Yes. Everybody, please let's all click the down arrowhead beside the with the raised hand and locate that applause icon. Okay. Thank you, Mavic. All right. So let's proceed to the next presentation. These are the insights to be shared to us by Janet Cledera. Janet is an assistant professor Semester 1 at Partido State University in Goa, Camarines Sur. It's okay. Take it easy.
Thank you very much. May I greet first Dr. Soledad Udep, UP NISMED Director, Dr. Risa Reyes, Dr. Aida Yap, Deputy Director, Ria Baldin, our online facilitator, school officials, and my colleagues from Partido State University. I hope they are also coming in. Of course, our friends from Kasama Teachers, my webmates in Teachers Engage were complete. Other guests from Philippines, Bahrain, and the US. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon. It is my privilege to share with you my insights on inquiry in classroom as we celebrate our ceremonies this 18th day of November 2015. We were given 5 minutes, so a little bit longer than Mavik's presentation. Okay, invitation to this online course, summers 2 months ago. I was jammed, so I downloaded its syllabus. Questions rushed in my mind, just like this Wordle on your screen. How is scientific inquiry different from other teaching methods and strategies? How can I integrate inquiry in my lesson? What are the benefits of integrating inquiry? Thank God for not giving me any excuses to join the course. Instead, he opened my mind and widened its space to absorb more substantial ideas. I have plotted some of them in the mind map on your screen. Yes, my preliminary queries were answered. With bonus, this course likewise addressed some of my technical features. I am grateful to my webmates and online community, and cherish as well the exemplars translated by our very supportive mentor, Miss Celia Balbin. An old Africa says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, I'm going far with all of you here, my PSU community and my family. Thank you so much. Glory to the highest. Yun akong sound. Nadadungog mo? Ako. Nadadungog. Thank you. I am just inspired. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Janet. What a nice and concise way to synthesize your experiences and learning from the course. Thank you. We will next proceed to our next presenter, participant, Femi.
Hello everyone. Maupay nga sulok sa iyong atanan. Good afternoon everyone from our Minority Samagnon dialect. This is Femi, and let me share with you my main takeaways from our Science Inquiry course. First, the Inquiry Continuum and Instructional Design. I was able to realize that the kind of instruction that I was giving my students was not designed to fully engage their young minds to the ways of the world of science. Through this lesson, I was able to redesign my lesson plan and give my students opportunity to explore the science concepts, ask questions, design an investigation, interpret and organize data, collaborate and present their learning to the whole class, and hopefully beyond the fences of our campus. Then, assessment. When DepEd released the new way of assessing student learning, I was not able to fully grasp its spirit during our training last summer. Things started to click and connect when we reached Module 3, and I was able to realize its potential to support, supplement, and embody inquiry. Formative and summative assessments are now my tool for authentically gauging my students' needs and progress. As I improved with both assessment and instruction, I was able to take my planning to the next level. Now, I put more emphasis on creating the climate that will really foster inquiry and investigation. I really have to thank my principal, Sir John, and my department head, Ma'am Elizabeth, for their support and just the right amount of pressure on the side. Technology. As I was going through Module 5, I felt dread and hesitation. I won't deny the fact that I am teaching at a public school that is challenged to make our instruction more ICT oriented. But hey, this is not the end of the world, right? By the time I finished Module 5, I came to a resolution and conviction that our school isn't bombarded by challenges, but opportunities. Opportunities to acquire internet access, opportunities to conduct next to impossible laboratory experiments via a virtual environment, and so much more. Of course, how will I forget my word for Module 2, scaffolding. Miss Celia, through you I now realize the true power of scaffolding. Teachers must design their instruction and assessment in a way that they scaffold for enduring understanding. My million thanks to you, Ma'am Celia, for the patience, encouragement, and faith. I also thank the UP NISMED for coming up with this course that gave teachers like me in the countryside a wonderful opportunity to upgrade the way we practice our craft. To the rest of my online classmates, Ivy, Mavic, Janet, Abby, Tess, Joji, Johnny, Glenn, thank you is not enough for giving me a chance to broaden my teaching horizon. The insight that I got from our instructions helped me process every lesson, no matter how tiring and vague they are sometimes. So, my teaching arsenal is now upgraded. And I am going full speed ahead. This is Femi of Pambuhan National High School with his students who are in for a fun ride with their inquiry skills and habits of mind. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Femi, for that sharing. This quote from Femi's wrap-up reflection, no? Ang ganda nitong quote na to. Maybe we can have some additional time to read through this reflection. I think this speaks a lot, no, about what Femi would like to foster in his science classes of low-performing students, as well as those in special science sections that he also handles. All right, so thank you again, Femi, everyone. Let's give him our applause. Yay! All right, so let's proceed to our next presentation. We will have two presenters for this next presentation. We have Abby Laranyo and Joe Buaron, both of whom are elementary school science teachers, and they will be sharing their experiences in the inquiry in the science classroom and how they have tried to implement or incorporate those ideas from the course into their science classes. All right, take it away, Joe and Abby. Hello, everyone. Good morning from Bahrain. Good afternoon from the Philippines.
So to the admin of UP NISMED, our facilitator, Ms. Celia Balvin, fellow webmates, colleagues, Sabah al-Khair from Bahrain. Good morning, USA, and good afternoon there in the Philippines.
Yes.
So let me first give you a background of Philippine School Bahrain. There is nothing so special about our curriculum because we are also implementing the same curriculum in the Philippines which is the K-12 curriculum. I would like to start my presentation with our first slide. Yes, ours, because this is a joint collaboration and effort of Miss Josephine and me. We will be presenting to you our experiences as we took this course on scientific inquiry in the science classroom in the elementary grade level. This was us before the course. As you can see in the slide, we have scientific inquiry equal to hands-on laboratory activities. This is a representation on our misconception about scientific inquiry, meaning that we think if we are doing hands-on activities, we are already doing scientific inquiry, which really has a great difference from each other. Next slide is the word of. This word and its significance leaves us an indelible mark on the activities that we do in the class. We were able to level up our knowledge and the use of scientific inquiry in our classes, specifically applying inquiry in the lower grades. These also help us to do some modifications in the lessons that we are presenting to our students, which can lead to a deeper way of developing inquiry skills. The things that we know that for us are correct, and because of this course, we are able to realize that these are all misconceptions. At this point, I am now giving you Ms. Josephine to present the next slides.
Great afternoon to the UP NISMED family, to Ms. Celia, our facilitator, and to our webmates. Salam alaikum from Bahrain. To continue with our collaborative presentation, this is our scientific inquiry model. The learner is the center of scientific inquiry. A learner will be able to develop the habits of mind and acquire science process skills when he or she is exposed to the different levels and phases of inquiry, with a supportive environment and with the use of technology tools. The continuum in this model represents the different levels of inquiry as to limited, structured, guided, and open. Learning these levels made us revisit our learning targets, evaluate our activities, and we realize that most of our activities are on low and when learners are doing cookbook lab confirmation activities. In this, we decided to transform our cookbook labs into inquiry activities using the tips in the module. Inquiry phases are the different stages of inquiry. Learning these stages and the activities embedded in each stage help us plan our lessons, such as scaffolding questions, activities and assessment, to ensure that during these inquiry activities, our learners were able to develop the habits of mind and process skills. In the inquiry supportive environment, we, teachers, have vital roles in setting the kind of interactive environment to encourage learners to take risks and collaborate with others. I've learned in this part that the assessment is not only be used to grade performances of learners, but to guide them to learn the concepts and develop the target skills. Effective feedback from us teachers will help us and our students to direct our own learning. In this course, we were also exposed to different kinds of rubrics to assist, assess, and guide our learners. The online tools raise the hindrance of non-availability of tools and equipment. It is again for the teacher to explore these tools and share them to their learners. Now, how do we apply scientific inquiry in our respective classes? What I am showing you right now is the set of grade 5 students who are exploring the effect of the application of heat in matter. They use different materials like ice cubes, soft drink cans, and clay. If you look closely to the picture, the students were exploring the effect of heat to ice cubes. This is a structured inquiry activity wherein the learners are given the problem and materials. They were given the freedom to make their own procedures to answer the problem. One group burned the ice cubes using the candle. The other group went outside the science lab to observe the effect of heat from the sun, and the other group used electric kettle. At the end of this activity, the learners were able to come up with their own conclusions. And I'm happy with their conclusions because they were able to capture the effect of the application of heat in the different kinds of materials. This picture, another picture will be shown to you, and this is the use of computer lab to do research on the properties and effects of styrofoam. We have done this with the collaboration of our computer teacher. Indeed, implementation of SI, or scientific inquiry, does not only encourage collaboration among students, but also collaboration among teachers. So in our realization, this is a very productive journey. Abby and I became reflective teachers. We are more conscious with the level of inquiry and the kind of activities, especially scaffolding activities, and the type of assessment we have in our classes. We became effective team players as we work together in planning and implementation of the scientific inquiry in our classrooms.
Inquiry in the science classroom course exposed us to a lot of possibilities. The teaching science is not that very complicated to teach, although before we admit that we are very limited to the things that we know and the resources and materials that we are using. The ideas that we gain in the course broaden our knowledge in making our classes an inquiry-based classroom. This helps us a lot to understand the levels of inquiry that we are using. The different scientific skills that we need to develop to our students is really important, for this is the foundation of making them become analytical thinkers and learners. The end goal of all this is for our students to love and achieve more in science.
We know that the continuous application and implementation of scientific inquiry in our classrooms entails a lot of time and effort from us. But now we are inspired. It is because of the dedication of each participant and the zest and support of our facilitator, Ms. Celia. For us to face the challenges ahead of us in the implementation of the scientific inquiry in our classrooms. Then, moving forward, together we will collaborate to continually integrate the scientific inquiry in our science classroom. This is our commitment, Abby and I.
Alone, we can go faster. Together, we can go farther. So thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Al Bahrain, Ashat Al Philippines, Ashat Al UP NISMED, meaning long live Bahrain, long live Philippines, and long live UP NISMED. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Mabuhay, mabuhay. Thank you, Jo and Abby. Thank you. Nakakatuwa talaga, no? Dalawa sila talaga. Nag-share sila. Alright, so again, let's thank and congratulate Abby and Jo for sharing with us their struggles and their triumphs as they've integrated and experimented with the ideas from the course into their elementary school classes. Thank you. All right, so our next and last presenter is Ivy Sambala. Ivy is also from Philippine School, Bahrain, and she teaches in the high school. Ivy?
Yeah. Good morning from Bahrain. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning from Bahrain. This is Ivy. I am a science teacher from Philippine School, Bahrain. Today I will be telling you a story about an activity that was done using the method of inquiry. The course that we took on scientific inquiry coincided with the conduct of an interdisciplinary project that we had during the first quarter of this school year. So let me share with you one inquiry experience that our grade 9 students had during the first quarter. So this project was a modified design and problem-based project for 3 core subjects: math for the quadratic equation, science for projectile motion and the application of the scientific method, and English for technical writing. Incidentally, the same project was also used as an input for a project in Filipino for the topic pagsasalaysay at pagkakasunod-sunod. We have targeted the use and development of all skills in science, inquiry, and certain habits of mind. Okay, so at first I thought that we were just going to apply the process skills, but as we went through the modules, I realized that there are also inquiry skills and habits of mind that need to be developed and that are actually being developed using one activity only. So for the exploration phase, we started with a brief discussion about catapults. The most popular of this was illustrative examples using Clash of Clans and the Angry Birds. So this is what the students use to plan for their project, the design, and how they're going to go about with gathering the data for this particular task. The investigation took some time. In the past, I would give exact tasks to be done every time we have project making activity. I would evaluate students based on how much they have accomplished based on the targeted task. This year, because I learned about self-directed learning, I asked my students to make their project plan, and they worked within the project plan that they made. So they were targeting specific tasks, and they were evaluating their outputs based on how much they have accomplished for the day. This enabled them to be more self-directed on the things that they wanted to accomplish. So there you can see pictures of my students gathering the data for their catapults. Another habit of mine that we wanted to develop with this project was striving for accuracy. So throughout the investigation phase, students kept revisiting and revising their ideas. There was some conflicts on whether they will go with style and design for their catapults or they will go with the consistency. So others had to work on improving their catapults. Others also had some problems on how to minimize human errors so that they would be able to achieve precise data. So other groups made 2 or more catapults, so they will be able to choose which catapults would work best for their project. That's for the investigation phase. For the interpretation, students made use of the data they have gathered to analyze how their catapults were performing. All their analysis and inputs were documented through pictures and reflective journals. We had the WWWs of the activity, what went well, what went wrong, and this, as you can see, are examples of the data and analysis and the reflective journals of the students for this particular project. And last, I think this was one of the most interesting parts when the students had to present their data because it is a collaborative project for English. They had to do some costumes and theatrics also, which made the presentations very interesting for not only for them but also for their peers. Aside from the class presentation, we also use the catapults and the posters during the quarterly exhibits for the parents to see what their children are doing in school and to show other kids also one interesting application of math and science in real life. So these are the examples of the catapults, the outputs of the grade 9 students for this project. What clicked for me for this course? After going through all the 5 modules and after conducting one inquiry activity in class, several things clicked for me. One, I learned how intertwining science process skills, inquiry skills, and habits of mind are in any given activity. So we can actually target the development of several skills and HOMs with just one. We just need to be very careful when planning these activities. Another click is the relearning of how crucial assessment and scientific discourse are in enabling students to learn science concepts in class. And the last, I have also discovered that the use of technology tools would make learning a lot more interesting for students. With the use of technology, appropriate technology, that is, we will not be limiting their learning within the 4 walls of the classroom. We will be opening their minds to the whole world as their classroom. I dream of a classroom of students who are ready for inquiry. However, at present, I can see that my students are not really that ready yet for self-directed learning. But hopefully and gradually, starting small, starting with baby steps, we will soon be leaping and even jumping. And students who leave the classroom will be able to survive and will carry the skills that they learn in the class, and they will be able to apply this even when they go to the real world. Today is not the end of our journey in my class, and for everyone else, the journey continues. Thank you, Celia, for the opportunity to be inspired by you, and thank you, Glenn, for having supported us throughout the course. Thank you, UP NISMED and Intel, for the opportunity for us to keep learning new things. Shukran, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Ivy. Thank you. This is a very special material. No, most of the time when we conduct training or professional development activities, we seldom see participants trying to apply immediately what they have learned or what they are learning from the course. I think this is one big advantage of doing a PD activity like this while teachers are in their schools, so that they get the chance immediately to try out new ideas and check out if the course promises and prospects are really possible in real classrooms with specific challenges. Thank you again, Ivy, for this example. All right, so I think that ends the presentations this afternoon, and we just take a short break, maybe a 3-minute break. Make that time to chat and share our feedback and comments using the main chat here on the lower left side of your screens as we prepare for the next part of our program this afternoon, which is the awarding of the certificates of completion to our successful participants. Again, thank you everyone for sharing your learning experiences and insights with all of us. Alright, so we come back and resume the program this afternoon. Thank you again to all our participants who have shared with us their experiences and insights. I think because of that, there's reason for this next part of our program, which is the awarding of certificates of completion. Alright, so we are privileged to have with us this afternoon the Director of UP NISMED, Dr. Soledad Ulep, also the Deputy Director for Research and Extension, Dr. Risa Reyes, and our Deputy Director for Administration, Dr. Aida Yap. We are so honored this afternoon that they are able to make it with us in this program. So you are seeing right now on the left side of the screen a sample of the certificate of completion, and allow me to read its content. University of the Philippines, National Institute for Science and Mathematics Education Development awards this certificate of completion to for having successfully completed so many hours of professional development in the Inquiry in the Science Classroom online course delivered in Intel Engage and Intel Adobe Connect webinar platform from 25 July to 5 September 2015. Given this 18th day of September 2015. Signed, Soledad A. Ulep, Director. Yay! Alright, so tuloy-tuloy na tayo, no? I will be calling on each of our 9 successful participants, and as I call your name, you can type on the chat your reaction, and everyone is also welcome to congratulate our participants. Alright, so be generous with your comments and congratulations. Okay, are you ready? This is so different. This is the first time we're doing this in NISMED, no? A virtual ceremony and awarding of certificates. Alright, so let me call on our first participant, first graduate. There, Eufemio Dura Adarayan Jr. of Pambuhan National High School, Pambuhan, Northern Samar. Femi, here is your certificate. Congratulations, Femi. Alright, so think of yourself receiving this from our director and 2 deputy directors. Next. Johnny Albarico of Philippine Science High School, Calabarzon Regional Campus in Batangas City. Johnny, this is for you. Alright, next. Congratulations, Maria Josephine Buaron of Philippine School, Bahrain. Manama, Kingdom of Bahrain. Jo, this is your certificate. Alright, congratulations, Jo. Next. Maria Jocelyn T. Claridad of Paco Catholic School in Paco, Manila. Georgie, here is your certificate of completion. Congratulations. Next. Janet A. Cledera, Partido State University, Goa, Camarines Sur. This is your certificate, Janet. Congratulations. Okay, next. Abigail Corcuera Laranio, also Philippine School, Bahrain, Manama, Kingdom of Bahrain. Abby received this certificate from our director and 2 deputy directors. Congratulations. Alright, our next successful participant, Maria Teresa Husan Munoz of Makati Science High School, Makati City. Your certificate. Congratulations, Tess. Alright, next participant, Ivy Jan O. Simbala, also from Philippine School, Bahrain, Manama, Kingdom of Bahrain. Ivy, here's your certificate. Congratulations. And our last participant, first to present, Maria Victoria Zapanta, Paco Catholic School, Paco, Manila. Mavic, here is your certificate. Alright. Yay! Congratulations, everyone. But of course, this transition ceremony wouldn't be complete if we fail to give a certificate of appreciation to one person who has made this online course also one of a kind. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and our co-participants and UP NISMED in presenting this certificate of appreciation to our friend Glenn Westbrook from Orem Junior High School in Utah in the United States. Glenn, this is the certificate of appreciation for you. We thank you, Glenn, for bringing in as a volunteer your experiences as a science teacher at Orem Junior High School in Utah in the U.S. and also your expertise as moderator at Teachers Engage. Glenn, thank you for greatly enriching our interactions. Let me read very quickly the citation for the Certificate of Appreciation for Glenn. UP University of the Philippines National Institute for Science and Mathematics Education Development presents this Certificate of Appreciation to Glenn D. Westbrook for enriching the online interactions through his generous sharing of valuable time and insightful feedback. During the Inquiry in the Science Classroom online course, delivered on Intel Engage and Intel Adobe Connect webinar platform from 25 July to 5 September 2015, given this 18th day of September 2015. Signed, Soledad A. Ulep, Director. Thank you very much, Glenn. Right, so congratulations again, everyone. And may we request our director, Dr. Ulep, for some, not closing maybe, but some words for our participants and our other educators who are here with us this afternoon. Dr. Ulep?
Good afternoon, everyone. I've been enjoying what's been going on since this transition ceremony started. Thank you very much indeed for making me a part of this very important moment in your professional development. I was really impressed with all the insights that you were putting in what you have done in the different modules that you went through. First, let me thank also Celia, our colleague here at NISMED, for conceptualizing this project in a sense. As she already said, this is one of a kind, something that we did for the first time. And congratulations to everyone. I really admire your discipline. I know that it took a lot of time to be able to accomplish the tasks that were required of you. I also admire how you were able to sustain your enthusiasm from the start till now, based on the presentations that I have seen. And I was impressed with the pieces of evidence that you have shown through the pictures of your students who really looked very engaged as they did the inquiry tasks that you provided them. Indeed, I was very convinced that teaching science through inquiry is a learner-centered approach because it provides plenty of opportunities for students to engage in science process skills, habits of mind, and inquiry skills as they learn the content. I was also impressed because several of you have your administrators, your principals in particular, joining you in today's event. It's just my hope that you would open your classes to your colleagues so that other teachers would have a good idea of what it means to teach science through inquiry. Being able to observe how students think on their own, to be more responsible for their own learning, is something that teachers really need to have. Nothing beats seeing things by direct observation. So invite other teachers to your classroom so they could see the difference in students' learning and even in their attitude towards learning science. Thank you too for your attempts to integrate other subject areas in your teaching of science through inquiry. I'm in mathematics, and I was happy to see a lesson where mathematics was integrated in the teaching of science. All the best, and I hope that you would really sustain your interest in using inquiry in your teaching of science. Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ulep. Thank you for picking up for us very important points that have been shared by our participants. Thank you for also providing the support to this initiative of doing the Inquiry in the Science Classroom as an online course. Indeed, it has brought a lot of learning, new learning also, not just for the participants, but also for UP NISMED. Thank you very much. Right, we would like also to acknowledge with special thanks Intel Corporation for providing us the course content through its Intel Teach Elements series of courses. We also thank the team that manages and moderates the Teachers Engage community, where we have completed our groups activities, where we continue to go back as soon as school starts again. We have made a pact to everyone that we will continue to engage in our discussions and share our experiences, our triumphs, and also our challenges. Our group in Teachers Engage, we said, will not close. In fact, we expect that it will come more alive as a result of our continuously trying out ideas from the course in our own classrooms and seeing how scientific inquiry can really contribute to deep understanding of scientific concepts. We also thank, again, Intel Education for the Adobe Connect webinar platform that we have been using for the past 7 or so Saturdays as we talk with each other live this time, not just on the discussions, but also live on Saturdays. Every Saturday afternoon, we start at 1 o'clock and supposedly end at 3 o'clock, but sometimes we extend up to 4 o'clock or even later. Again, thank you, Intel, for all for supporting NISMED meet its mission in science education. Thank you. And of course, congratulations, participants. See you again in our Teachers Engaged group and in Kasama Teachers. We hope that there will be more teachers in your respective schools who will benefit from your learning and experience from the course. Rest assured that our community, the community of learning that we have initiated through this course, will continue to support all of you. Another course, yes. We just need to meet the minimum number of participants. So I hope this time we will not have difficulty in meeting the minimum number of participants, because I think you are now our cheerleaders, so to say, of online course that's offered by Intel Education and also facilitated by UP NISMED. Yes, we were thinking of the thinking critically with data, the assessment, just so to strengthen more our ideas of formative assessment, and also project-based approaches. So we're looking at these 3 additional courses to complete the repertoire of this group of people and even more science educators here in our country. Thank you, Glenn, for all the support. Yes, and we hope to be seeing you in those project-based approach and other Intel Elements courses. And maybe, just maybe, we might be able to invite other facilitators also from the Teachers Engaged community as guest facilitators in these upcoming online courses. Yes. All right. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Glenn, this is still so early. You can take still your sleep. Yes. Thank you. And to our friends who have joined us from different schools in Northern Samar, in Camarines Sur, in Batangas, in Makati, in Manila, and of course here in Quezon City. Thank you very much for joining us. See you in our next online courses. Oh, ang saya-saya! Walang kainan! Wala tayong kainan, ano?
Ay, nice. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, congratulations! Oh, natuwa ba kayo? Yung mga certificates nyo ipapadala lang namin next week. Ay, meron kayo dyan, Ivy. Buti ka pa. Paano yung mga iba? May mga pasok pa ba kayo, Janet? Ano pa yung
Holiday po.
Nakauwi na yung iba. Yeah, oo nga pala, no? Meron pala kayong special, ano dyan, event
Opo.
dyan.
Ma'am, holiday po.
Yeah. Okay, nagluto ng sinigang na baboy at fried chicken si Abby. Oh, sarap naman ng lunch nyo. Ako pala, hindi pa pala ako nag-lunch. Ko. Okay, so again, nahabol natin, no? Nahihabol natin yung mga pictures, nahihabol natin yung mga